Sometimes the sharpest question in a room doesn't come from a senator, doesn't come from a reporter, or even a political opponent. It comes from a kid. Like asking the one question the Democrats, under no circumstance, actually want to answer here.
Why do voters do Democrats so poorly?
Oh. Did your dad give you that question? It's a great question in that
It is. Squirm out of it.
I'm going to have words with you after this, Manu. Listen, I think that we exist in an era right now where the American people are understandably frustrated with institutions because far too many people in this country are struggling to live paycheck to paycheck. They can't thrive and can barely survive. And so there's a frustration with Congress. There's a frustration with institutional political parties, whether that's Democrats or Republicans. Certainly a frustration with the courts, with organized religion, with the media. Frustration with institutions of higher education. And, of course, frustration with the current President of the United States of America. There's a great frustration that applies to every organized institution in this country. And Democrats are not immune from that. And we do have a responsibility to continue to convince the American people that as a party, we're actually focused on making their life better, on fixing our broken healthcare system, on cleaning up corruption, on ending this reckless and costly war of choice, and on getting ICE under control. That said, I think what's been clear over the last 16 months is that Democrats continue to win every single meaningful election. And we're in a two-party system. And it's the American people who are going to make a decision, election after election after election. Do we support the Democratic candidate or the Republican candidate? Do we support the Democratic view or the Republican view? And consistently, in state after state, in race after race, in contest after contest, irrefutably, the American people are choosing the Democratic Party. We've got to keep that going all the way through the midterm election and beyond. But the momentum is clearly on the side of House Democrats and the Democratic Party.
So just for this moment here, right here, right? Let's step into the mind of the most partisan man in the United States of America, known as Hakeem Jeffries. So the reason why the Democrats do so poorly consistently, it's not because of the ideologies that they push. It's not about the 80-20 issues, the fact that they consistently back nothing but the 20 issues and disregard the 80. Not that. It is because Trump is in office. Trump is in office, so that's why the Democrats do poorly. Is that your assumption here, Hakeem Jeffries? It's not the other stuff. No. Okay, listen. Hakeem Jeffries always reminded me of someone who will say whatever is needed and change his opinion based off of whoever the majority, let's say, of his fans are. Let's call them that. Let's just say hypothetically here, there was one point in history where the Democrats were incredibly sane here. That a brand new, TikTok-based Gen Z oriented type of people came into the party kind of large scale and turned it large scale progressive, but not even like sane. Let's just, every couple of years, let's do a little bit better. Not that. We're going to find some small niche subgroup and promote that as the majority opinion. Guys, just go back 10 or 15 years on most of these people speaking and you'll start to realize immediately they don't mean none of what they say here, guys. They're just shilling for the people. That's it here. They're shilling for whatever group is currently large scale making up the loud minority in their party. A couple of days ago, we did a video kind of regarding some of the top Democrats consistently threatening violence towards their political adversaries here. All right. And apparently he did the same things.
Well, Republicans have failed to keep their promise to drive down the high cost of living. And Donald Trump, in fact, said that costs would go down on day one. Costs haven't gone down. Costs have gone up in the United States of America. Life is far too expensive. And as Democrats, we remain committed to doing everything possible to ensure that we are improving the ability of the American people to live a comfortable life, an affordable life, and the good life. That's what we're all about. Making sure every single American can live the good life.
Yeah, but how do you make that happen, though?
And right now, Donald Trump is failing. Failing on the economy, failing on health care, failing on nutritional assistance, failing on national security, failing on immigration enforcement, and failing on the war. By the way, that's why
What?
Donald
man
Trump
is
and
just
Republicans
talking.
launched this unprecedented gerrymandering scheme because they don't have anything affirmative to run on. And so they decided that they were going to try to rig the midterm elections by gerrymandering the national congressional map. But that effort has failed. It has failed because Democrats didn't step back. Democrats have fought back all over the place. Democrats won Prop 50 in California. We forced them into a dummy mander in Texas. We stopped them in New Hampshire, stopped them in Nebraska, stopped them in Missouri, stopped them in Indiana, won a seat in Utah, pushed them back in Ohio, a big victory in Virginia, and we're going to keep the pressure on them in Florida. The Trump Republican gerrymandering scheme has failed. Why? Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Hakeem Jeffries is definitely talking to the right people for the most part in that room. Let's just say this here. They're hanging on all of his words here, obviously bated breath type of scenarios here. But when you say Donald Trump is failing on immigration, what does success mean? Like, what does success look like to you specifically, Hakeem Jeffries? Is it what Biden was doing? Is that success? Because to my knowledge, we've dropped down over 95%, right? That's a success, not a failure, Hakeem Jeffries. But I guess that makes sense kind of coming from him because, again, success means open borders, not a single bit of a border, because apparently it offends people when we actually care about our national security. He then says our national security has failed. This is clown world, guys. Okay, that's it here. This is just clown world. Let's get into the economy for a moment here, because that's like the most important thing, I think, for the majority of people that exist kind of within the United States of America. The economy, obviously, things are expensive. Yes. Do you know what a deflationary event would look like for the United States of America? That's the stuff of nightmares. That's nightmare fuel here. All right. Under no circumstance do we want to experience a deflationary event? All right. If you want to make things just a little bit, portion, let's say, cheaper, do your thing here. But when you start liquidating, for the most part, the value of assets by some type of forced market manipulation, let's say this year, what do you think is going to happen to people's retirements? What do you think is going to happen to people's savings? Guys, under no circumstance. We are here. The money has already been printed. Do you understand that? I need everyone to understand. Follow me here. The money has already been printed. It exists. That's it. All right. It is what it is here. And when Trump started talking about how he was going to come in office and then immediately lower prices, I immediately cringed. I was like, what are you talking about here? Don't do that. Right. It's too late. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Because if you lower the prices, now there's a gigantic influx of cash out there. The value of everything drops tremendously. You're devaluing the dollar. It is not a good thing, guys. Okay, you have to look past. You have to look past what you're experiencing to understand the larger picture of what that looks like. Okay, it looks bad. It is like the destruction of nearly every American household. You may feel really good for like a month until you start realizing. Okay. Now, next thing Hakeem Jeffries consistently talks about, he wants to get people more money. I get it. I mean, people need money to survive in a capitalist society. I understand that here. What happens if you inject $1,000 into every single person's pocket? Everything goes up $1,000. Now what's next? you understand what I'm saying? Hopefully understand deeply what I'm saying here. If you start injecting large quantities of money out of thin air into people's pockets, everything is going to get more expensive because now everyone knows, businesses, companies, that you can afford it. Okay. And then earlier I said, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do this, bro? It doesn't make any sense here. You're offering pipe dreams, but I get it. I mean, my grandfather used to tell me one thing here. If you want to make money in this world, you're going to sell hope. Okay. Sell hope, sell the idea of like religion, right? Or women. Three things. If you find a way to circle around these things, hope in any aspect of anything, and or religion in any aspect of anything, and or women. Find a way to any of these things. Either it's makeup, not just actually women. You're not doing that. Don't do that. That's crazy. But hopefully you understand what I'm saying here. Find something to sell to women, sell hope to hopeless people, or anything kind of regarding religion, right? So you have all three of these things, and if you find one of those things right there, you're rich. Okay? I don't know, bro. Sell hair ties or something. Make up something special. Make it pretty. Make it pink with like some, I don't know. I'm not a woman. I'm bald. I have no hair. But you understand what I'm saying, hopefully, guys, all right? These three things here. And that's what Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrat Party basically consistently do. They find something and it's generally kind of leaning into the hope here. This has nothing to do with, hey, maybe I should work a little harder. Okay? Maybe I should do a little more than I'm doing currently. That's the methodology here. If you want to do better in the United States of America, this is the country where you have the ability to absolutely encounter a prosperous life here. You have to work harder. Okay. Like my mission statement on this channel here since the beginning of time here, since we started in 2019 here, has been work hard until you're recognized. There was always a second part to that story there, right? Work hard until you're recognized. And then once you're recognized, work harder. Okay. Never stop being better than you were last month, bro. All right. Grind. This is the culture. This is the society that we are in. If you want success, do not wait for it to be given to you. Go get it. Period. But all right, listen, guys, you guys have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and catch you guys later.